Hey y'all, it's Necey Dixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, y'all, welcome back. Clack clack. I'm a little bit late this morning, but that's all right. I'm gonna apologize in advance. I hate doing this for the sound. Um, I got locked out of my laptop this morning, so I'm going live from the iPad. So the sound quality isn't gonna be what it's been for the past couple lives. But that's all right. We are here to talk about Bell Collective and Love and Marriage Huntsville, and I'm looking off to the side at the comments. So before we get started, y'all, let me know if you can hear me okay and if you can see me okay. Hey friend, Keisha. She said, glad to finally make a live. Hey all, how are you, Necey, my good sis? How's the pregnancy going? I wish you nothing but peace and positive vibes. Ooh, girl. I say ooh, girl in the best way because this pregnancy has been amazing. It's been easy. Thank God. And I hope it continues to go that way. Um we on the countdown. We still got a little while, but for us, we count down. So we're doing good though. We are good. Hey Delia, Miss Wilson, Adrian, Dominique, Necey D. Okay, she said you good. Okay, y'all can hear. Okay, good, good. Thank you so much. Okay, y'all made brunch. All right, so this morning I am drinking my water out of my simple modern cup, and then I am, what is this? I got some chlorophyll in there. So this brunch is gonna be giving healthy brunch, okay? For a friend update, because somebody said virtual baby shower. That would be so cute if we did a virtual baby shower. I feel like I told some of y'all in the comments what I was having, like a boy or girl. But like some people like want me to do a gender reveal. I don't know. I think that would be cute. And yes, I saw that some of y'all actually have already sent stuff off of my Amazon baby registry. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait for the little baby to be here, y'all. Um, but I haven't opened up anything yet. Like my actual baby shower that I'm having in person with friends and family is gonna be this coming weekend. So once that happens, maybe I can use the Sunday, depending on it might be the next Sunday, because depending on like family leaving from out of town and stuff like that, I may or may not be going live at the same time next Sunday. But I think we should do something virtual because I haven't opened up anything. Anything that I've gotten from like YouTube aunties and uncles, I put in one corner. And then anything I got from people for the shower on Saturday, I put in another corner. So I need to put the link in the description. So if you're watching this on playback and you want to know where I'm registered and all that type of stuff, I'm going to put it in the description box after this live if you feel like, gifting. But yeah. Yeah, thank y'all. Okay, so for sure I'm gonna have pictures of the baby shower for sure. I ordered a dress, y'all. Since we friends here, and I got to start off with the little update. Y'all don't understand how hard it has been to find an outfit. One, because like I feel like I'm fairly tall. Like I'm on the taller side, right? And like when it comes to maternity like jeans and stuff, it's hard to find stuff that's actually tall. Like I have one good pair of maternity jeans. Other than that, I've been wearing dresses or like mostly non-maternity stuff. So like for this shower, and I'm gonna tell y'all in advance, okay? For this shower, well, I guess y'all are gonna know the gender of the baby. I'm gonna just tell y'all the gender, okay? For those of y'all that's here early, since we friends and y'all early on time for the live, let's just talk about it, okay? The theme of the baby shower is Beyonce Renaissance that girl. Because it's a girl, y'all. She's that girl. So like the colors are black, white, chrome, like silver, right? And I was trying to decide if I was gonna wear white or chrome. So I got a chrome dress. The chrome dress is okay. That's my backup option if the white dress that I have doesn't come in, because the white dress that I ordered is really giving. But I ordered it, and it's supposed to come from London, and I ordered it on express shipping on Friday night, which is 2 to 3 day shipping. So y'all pray for me, okay? Y'all pray for me. Send prayers and well wishes, y'all, that this dress comes in, because I really want to wear the white dress. Like the silver dress is not giving like the white dress. The white dress is giving like that girl energy, and that's what I want for me and Baby Burns, okay? Because she's that girl. So yes, I'm so excited, y'all. All right. I'm so glad we're celebrating. I love y'all. Okay. So, yeah, people were telling me I was giving boy mom energy, but I think that I definitely give girl mom energy. Like, that's just what I think. I can't wait. And we have picked out a name. I think I might wait. I'll probably wait until we do the virtual baby shower to share the name. And we'll wait until the virtual baby shower to share the name. But she's definitely that girl. She's definitely that girl. I can't wait. Thank y'all so much. And then, like, I know some people were asking when I was due. I'm due in March. So y'all know we took like a little break from Ooh Lady's first panel after Jamie had her bundle of joy. We're going to take another break in March whenever I prepare to go into labor, and then I'll be back. But I'll be back as a mommy, and I'll be back with Baby Burns, y'all. Yeah. And I have been feeling flutters, and it was so weird. This morning I felt like her whole backside, like on my side. I gave a bump update 2 or 3 videos ago. Look, here we go, y'all. Here's my bump update. It's giving very much there. She's there. So there's the bump update, uncles and aunties. Okay. So I'm so excited, y'all. That is so cute. Yeah, it's Pisces gang. Oh, you just found out the news. Oh, yes. Yeah, March is amazing. Yeah, I agree, Shayla. Yeah, it's just so crazy, y'all. Like, oh, I didn't see this. Let me read this. Thank you so much for the super chat. It says, "Oh, I love it. Congratulations." Yes. Okay. And like, since we're friends, if we're not friends and you're just here for the review, just skip ahead, okay? But y'all know that my grandma passed in April, and this baby is actually due on my great grandma's birthday, her mom. And it's just so weird. Pregnancy is so weird. Like, I think I'm gonna make some videos on my other channel, Janice Stefan, on my vlog channel. That's linked below. So if you haven't subscribed to my vlog channel, you should. I don't really post there, but I think that's where I'd rather like talk about the other stuff. But it's just been so weird, y'all. I have been having dreams of my grandma like often. It's been very different. It's been very different, but I love it. I love it so much. Okay. Well, y'all, that's the update. Hey, Harold. That's the update, y'all. Harold, I saw you going up on Twitter about the show last night. That's why I had to jump on this morning and watch the episode. Okay. Pisces. So let's look. Let's pull up these notes, y'all. We're gonna talk about Bell Collective first, okay? Honestly, y'all, I don't take notes on Bell Collective no more. It was only 2 things that I wanted to discuss with Bell Collective. Y'all tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, now that we're on the 3rd part of the reunion, how would you rate Bell Collective Reunion Part 3? couple things happened. We talked about Glenn and Letitia. We gonna talk about that for a hot second. And then it was really JJ and So Gucci and the girls, and they was having their family issues on stage, which was quite cringy to see. It was like, oh my gosh, like, ooh, it was a mess. Adrian says 4, 6. Okay, I see a couple sixes. Okay, 6. Okay, cool. I was gonna say a 5. I was gonna say a 5 on Bell Collective. Just because I don't feel like this needed to be 3 parts, but I get it. You're gonna stretch it out because Love and Marriage Huntsville was 3 parts. So I feel like you're probably getting the views. The same people that watch Love and Marriage Huntsville is gonna watch Bell Collective. It's like boom, boom. We watching it, from a Friday to a Saturday, or you watching them back to back. So when it came to Glenn and Akeisha, y'all, I hate to say it. I actually don't. I'm sorry. I can't stand. I said Akeisha. I can't stand Letitia, y'all. I cannot stand Letitia. I'm sorry. Letitia irks the hell out of me. And it was so funny that Letitia and Glenn actually brought up Mel and Martell on this reunion, because I've been telling y'all that this entire time I felt as though Letitia was trying to create a Melody Holt glow up. And when I say Melody Holt glow up, I don't mean by the physical. What I mean is Melody came on this show with a cheating ass husband, and she just showed bad bitch energy. I'm healed. I've moved on. And I feel like she's gotten a lot of fan base from doing that. So I never understood what Letitia and Glenn's storyline was. Never understood how Carlos built an entire cast around Letitia when we don't know what the fuck she does besides go on brunches. Like, low key, y'all, I can't deal. So my question to y'all is, when we were introduced to Letitia claims that her husband was on a steamboat texting other women. That's the extent of what we know. And they've managed to create 2 or 3 seasons, I think, at this point, of fake conflict, is what I feel like. You had never left that man. You wasn't leaving that man. Y'all was in the Airbnb when he popped out the closet in season 1 or season 2. Then, this season, you pretend that you're going to get an apartment. Maria's there. He walks in the apartment. Y'all are running like the man is going to physically harm y'all. In my Jocelyn voice, ho, why is you here? Okay. And I don't mean to call Letitia a hoe, but that's just the thing that comes to mind. Why is you here? I'm not understanding why we have created 3 seasons and actually have had full-on discussions about Letitia and Glenn's infidelity in their marriage. You've managed to create like a pamphlet. Okay, shout out to I think Monique said that last week. You created a pamphlet. It was Monique or D, one of y'all, because I called it a book and y'all said it was a pamphlet. You created a pamphlet about the infidelity in your relationship that you don't want to speak about because it just doesn't seem like it's a thing. So I don't know why Carlos is like, I don't know if y'all aren't showing everything on the show, but I don't understand, Carlos, why are we having a discussion with them about their marriage and where they are, on year 20 and how he's going to repropose to her after we done already seen him repropose on the show. And then whenever they talk about what's next for them, it's only to get us to think that they have shit to talk about next season. Like, Letitia is tired, y'all. I really can't stand Letitia. I'm sorry. And Glenn was like, oh yeah, I really have to take the elevated her. Like, who is this elevated Letitia that you keep trying to sell us? And I'm going to tell y'all like this. I think that Glenn probably is a trifling ass dude. I'm pretty sure he has done some things. But I guarantee you, Letitia ain't going nowhere, nor has she elevated in this way that she keeps trying to make us believe. So I think Glenn's like confusion as to why, when he was on the show at least, when he was on the show, it was given, why are you acting like this? I don't know who this Letitia is. I bet you don't, because she putting on the front for the people on the show. And now that she probably done got a cute little raise going from season 1 to season 3, you on board. You wrapped in, you want to start a career, you want to close business deals with Letitia, but you're trying to make sure you get your portion of the cut. You're going to come on a reunion and you're going to act like, you know, she is elevated. So I'm just like, I'm not saying that this woman can't be better than who she was 3 years ago. But what I'm saying is, don't talk about it, be about it. Why do you keep trying to sell us this package that we didn't sign up for? Okay. So will everyone say, I see you got your clown mask on like you always do. Okay. That's what I have to say for Letitia. You got your clown mask on like you always do. And if y'all know, I finally made t-shirts and I have a merch shop, and we have clown mask t-shirts in the merch shop. So let me update my description box below after this video, or go on my community wall if you want a clown mask t-shirt. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about when it comes to Belle Collective is, let's talk about So Gucci. Let's talk about Selena. Let's talk about JJ's girls. I'm looking like that because that whole thing was cringy as fuck. Like, it was very cringy. I think that So Gucci, well, let me back up, because I actually did a review when So Gucci and Selena got into a fight. And based on just the quick optics of it, to me, it looked like Selena had came ready to fight. But y'all know, I wasn't on my detective job that day. So when it comes to Twitter investigating, people replaying the video, my opinion has changed, okay? I think that it was very clear to me that So Gucci and Selena already had beef. So Gucci is getting on my nerves because she has turned herself into a victim so bad, so bad. She came on the show really trying to, not on the show, she came on the reunion really trying to make it seem like she was in fear for her life for no reason. Like Selena was just beefing with you for nothing. I'm like, what's going on? Thank you for becoming a member, love. I'm like, I was just very confused. So I'm glad that they replayed the tape. What the tape shows is So Gucci, and let's not forget, So Gucci showed up to the event ready to stunt on the hoes. She had a real cute little green outfit on. But when she walked in, she never took her shades off, for one. For two, she walked in like she had an attitude. And even the comment that she made to Selena was something like, bitch, I'm better than you. I'm not gonna sit here and talk to an extra. So if you already knew that y'all was beefing from the last time you seen her, oh, well, you didn't offer to help at such and such baby shower, you never speak. Why would you even be over that way? Why would you even be over that way? Like, I'm not understanding. If you know that y'all was beefing the last time you seen her and you didn't want a glass to the face, you should have sat there and ate your food. You should have minded your business, but that's not what you did. You walked over because you wanted Selena to know, this is my shit, this is my show, and bitch, you an extra. And when you did that, you got, right? So when they play the replay at the reunion, you can hear So Gucci saying in the background to somebody, I'm about to throw a drink in this bitch face. They put the titles up there. She said, I'm about to throw a drink in this bitch face. Because So Gucci, Selena had said something about, you know, I was on TV before you, I had JJ before you. And both are facts. Both are facts. But let's talk about what came first. What came first was the energy from So Gucci. You came on there trying to solidify and let her know, bitches, this is my shit. I'm better than you. That's what you did. And in response to that, Selena said, I was on TV before you, and the man you got now I had before you, and I only don't got him because I don't want him. You got mad. You said, I'm about to throw a drink in this bitch face. And I've talked about this before. And Selena beat you to it. She threw the drink in the face. Now, y'all, I've only gotten into like, well, I've told y'all about this before. I've only gotten into one like real fight since ever, pretty much. Usually, it's never gotten to that point for me, right? But it was not because somebody hit me first, but it was because somebody stood up because they wanted to smoke. And I'm the type of person, much like I can tell Selena's the type of person where if we arguing and we're in a heated event and I don't know if you're gonna hit me first, but you're gonna stand up or you gonna threaten me, let's just get into it. Okay. I'm the type of person where I'm like, let's just get into it, okay? Because I'm just not going to wait. You know, they always tell the little kids, you just never be the one to hit first, let them hit you. And then after that, you can hit first as long as you're defending yourself. If you're in a situation where you like, bet, it's on. I feel you, Selena. So that's how Gucci ended up in the situation she was in. Selena threw the glass cut her hand. It wasn't like somebody was trying to blind, or her eye. She said 2 inches to the right, I could have been blind. It wasn't like somebody was trying to blind you, but you have to know that if you get into conflict, it's a risk that something's gonna happen, okay? So I don't feel bad for Gucci. So she came on the stage with that. And then the other thing that I thought was really, really ugly, even throughout the season, was JJ talking bad about Selena on national TV. Yes, him and Selena are not together no more, but it doesn't feel like him and Selena would have those issues if Gucci hadn't influenced that. Like, both of y'all turned Gucci into a victim, but not only that, you wanted the internet to know that Gucci essentially raised your children. That, Selena wasn't doing her hair, Selena was out in the streets. And it's really hard for me to believe that that was the situation full time, because if it was, I could not imagine the girls growing up and having the allegiance that they do to their mom. I think that it's a little bit of two things. I think that at some point in time, the girls probably did live with JJ and Gucci. I think that Gucci probably did do their hair occasionally and do the things that she should have done as JJ's wife and their stepmom. But to act like she took over when the girls had nobody, I think is a reach. And people do a lot of reaching when they want to make you look bad, they want to prove a point. And I think that that's what that was. And just because she did it doesn't mean she did it well, to be honest. Because when you think about the stuff that went on in the household, we seen the dynamic between JJ's daughters and Gucci daughter. And it wasn't healthy. So just because you did it doesn't mean you did it well. It's not a flex that y'all think it is. So I'm going to have to call Kat. So one of the things, let me see. Harold said if that were the case, Sanjay and Sky would not be fierce defenders of her if she wasn't there as a mother. Exactly. I don't understand. So on the flip side of things, we get Sanjay and Sky on the stage, and they actually come out to have a conversation with JJ and Gucci. And what I thought was funny, and this was the teller of their relationship and how the conversation was going to go. So Gucci walks out smiling. I mean, she doesn't walk out smiling. She greets the girl smiling like everything's all good. JJ's talking about how beautiful they look, how they look like their dad. And all this time, we didn't know that they weren't even talking to their dad. Y'all coming out with this small, friendly ass talk because y'all are so worried about perception instead of reality. If y'all hadn't talked to the girls, you should have said hello and kind of just left it at that. But y'all came out trying to make us think that everything was all good. And as long as the girls didn't reveal that y'all weren't talking, we would have never known. So I'm like, okay, something is going on. So basically the girls just share their point of view. They are fired up. At this point, they are grown women, y'all. He's the parent. Yes, these are the children, but they are grown women. And I feel like at some point in time, the child that turns to an adult is free to have their own opinion. And that's exactly what we saw. A lot of the things, like, at least growing up in a lot of Black households, a lot of the explanations beyond the parent to the child, that's what it is. And whenever you get older, you got a whole mouthful and everybody gets shocked. Like, oh, where'd this come from? And don't nobody want to believe the child. I think the girls had a right to express themselves in the way that they did. It sucks and it's unfortunate that they feel like they can't have a relationship with their father. And I understand where like Keisha and other people was coming from when they were saying, oh, well, you only get one parent. I do get it. But I'm not gonna jump on the bandwagon of a lot of people on social media who felt like the girls had overstepped their boundaries. I think that says a lot about a man who, honestly, each other, now that I'm thinking about it. It's clear that So Gucci's daughter has some resentment towards her in the way that she chose JJ and his daughters over her own daughter. And it's clear to me that the girls have resentment towards JJ based on the way that he's decided to pick sides. And yes, that's JJ's wife. But the thing is wrong, right is right. Like, there's a way to correctively, have a conversation with your significant other. And I just don't think that that's what's going on. So that's pretty much all I have on Bell Collective. Hopefully the girls can make it right with their daddy. But as far as their relationship with So Gucci, I don't feel like they're required to be cool with her. I just don't. They're grown-ass women. They can make their own decisions. And I think that JJ can decide how he wants to handle that. I don't understand why the fuck she pressed charges, dropped them charges. Even if they do go to court, I'm pretty sure they're going to dismiss it because it reminds me of like a Monique and Candace situation. It really does. It really does. But the main difference is what happened before, which we didn't get to see on this show. So drop them charges. You're not going to have charges up against my mama, making yourself a victim, and your daddy on TV talking bad about your mama, making it sound like she a deadbeat and this other lady did more. Girl, it will be over, the door will be closed. So that's all I have on Bell Collective. Now we can get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. But before we do, y'all do me a favor and like the video real quick. All right, y'all, it is time to get into part 3 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's finally over. The reunions are over. I saw somebody say something like, I wish that I was reviewing Ready to Love. I might consider it, honestly, just because, I was just having a conversation with the girls about this, and where is reality TV gonna go this spring? Where is it gonna go this spring? Because Potomac's not giving. It's gonna have to end. Love and Marriage Huntsville is ending, or is over now. Bell Collective is over now. We get Love and Marriage DC. Love and Marriage, is it DC? DC is coming back. But y'all know I didn't really care for Love and Marriage DC. So as far as Love and Marriage DC, Ready to Love, which are both two, like I used to review Ready to Love, but I don't know. We'll have to see. And it's just funny to me that they're in Fort Worth. Why would y'all even say, y'all are not in Fort Worth? Y'all got all them Black people from Dallas. I mean, I know it's Black people from Fort Worth, but y'all got them people from Dallas, Cedar Hill, all the surrounding areas driving to Fort Worth. Y'all should have just said it was another season in Dallas. So I don't know. I might watch that. And then who knows when Real Housewives of Atlanta is coming back. I'm like, my goodness. Also, I wanted to update y'all, actually, because I know last week we went in on Mr. Carlos King. we went in on Carlos and we were asking why he wanted to discuss Diamond from Crime Mob, but not really discuss Martell and what was going on. And he basically was like, can y'all stop saying that because I'm not going to discuss something that we're currently filming. So, one thing I know for sure, Mr. Carlos, is that if we end up watching the next season, because y'all claim y'all filming now, and we don't see his ass get locked up, and we don't get the backstory behind it, and people not questioning him about it like they was questioning everybody else, we're going to be right back here. And we're going to be talking shit, okay, on a good Sunday. So I really hope that y'all come with it since this, we're going to abide by, we're filming, let's not discuss it. So yeah, okay. Y'all know how it goes. Scale of 1 to 10. Tell me what y'all thought about Love and Marriage Huntsville Reunion Part 3. Couple things happened. Starting out with Mel and Betty. Kiki, Chris, and Nell returned to the stage, and we talked about that for a little bit, which was interesting. We talked about the Houston trip, which was, yeah. And then we talked about Kiki again. After y'all disrespected the fuck out of Kiki, y'all brought her ass back on the stage to discuss her one more time. Y'all, let me know. When Kiki returned to the stage, was it just me or did y'all see not Chris Fletcher. Did y'all see Carlos' face when Kiki returned to the stage? He turned his face up like, I can't stand this. Like, why is she on the stage? Y'all let me know, but I saw it in his face when she sat back down. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It was like 3 things. We talked about the Fletchers, we talked about Houston, and then we talked about Kiki. So on a scale of 1 to 10, y'all are saying 4, 6, 4, 6.5, 5, 3, 4. Ooh, Keisha, girl. I don't know why I always act surprised. Yeah, I think every time I do this, Keisha, I think you are very generous with the scores. Like 3, 5. I'm gonna have to agree with Monique and everybody else who said it was a 4. I'm gonna call it a 4. And Delia says they don't like Kiki for some reason, but want her story because everyone else's story was lackluster. Facts. That was like the shot her around the world at the beginning of the season. Y'all know that. And Jarrell, I had to sit back on that one. Y'all, I know we don't usually do this, but I think we need to do it today. Love and Marriage Huntsville has been on all year, right? And at this point, the same way that Maurice handed out his blogger awards last year, I think that on this channel, we should hand out Clown of the Season. And I'm not even going to, season part A, part B, y'all, Clown of the Season for me. And I hate to do this. I can't. Clown of the Season goes to Kimmy, y'all. Clown of the Season goes to Kimmy. I see you got your clown mask on like you always do. After this video, check my community wall or check the description box so you can also get your I see you got your clown mask on t-shirt or sweatshirt or tote bag or sticker. Y'all, honestly, I feel like this season was so exhausting for me because of Kimmy and Maurice. Literally just after the show went off this morning, I started watching episode 1 and 2 because I just wanted to watch it and see how much has changed. And not that much has changed. They're also talking about the same stuff. Episode 1, Maurice was talking about sex. He was talking about, a man wants sex every day. If you put a skirt on top of a chair with legs, I guarantee you somebody gonna want to look under the skirt. Like, nothing has changed. But I will say, I feel like Kimmy has changed. So I hate to say it. It's been a long year of talking about Kimmy's pussy. It's been a long year about having them discussions. And I have to tell you, cut the show. I'm out. I can't do it. I'm done. I'm done, Kimmy. I don't want to hear about it next season. I don't want to talk about your vagina next season. Okay. Somebody said Clown a Bell Collective. Clown a Bell Collective, y'all already know who got that one. That was Letitia. Okay. Can't do it. So let's get into it. Episode starts out with Mel and Betty arguing like he ended last time. And Mel ends up saying, "Go ahead, Stormy, speak. Go ahead, Stormy, speak." And Stormy says, "Mel, I've always liked you. Still have till this day. I still like you." While her and her mama arguing. And basically she said, "Look at what you built, Mel. You built this show." Da, 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 da. And, everybody just sitting there and, she's giving Mel her flowers. And what I want to point out right here is, don't y'all think that this is a stark contrast from earlier in the season, whenever y'all was at the spa, earlier in the season when y'all had that event, I think like one of the first episodes of part 2, I think, and you wanted to smoke, Stormy. You was fucking with Mel, but you wasn't really fucking with Mel. And Stormy, I felt like some of that was gassed up behind who you was hanging with. At the last reunion, you had went to go eat with the Scotch. Y'all was dancing. Y'all was doing the Cuff It challenge together. Everything was all good. And you was really acting like you didn't have not a care for Mel. You act like you was done fucking with her. So when you get on the stage and you give Mel her flowers and say, "I've always liked you, I still do," I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just saying that it just feels very timely. It feels very timely that now that you and Tisha have gotten into it, I mean, you got all cool with them like you wanted to. And now that you and Tisha getting into it, it's, "Oh, Mel, I've always liked you. I still do. Oh, Mel, my mama's tripping. We can be friends. We can be friends." No, keep that same energy, okay? Say it with your chest. It's very different than what it was given earlier on. So I'm gonna, right, she want to be Gucci. Where was the Gucci purse, Stormy? Where was the Gucci purse? So we could all be Gucci. That's all I was waiting for. I just think that the timing was very interesting on that. Anyway, Betty ends up saying to Mel, "It's cool. You don't like me, I don't like you." And to Mel's point, I don't know you not to like you. And if you don't like me, that's fine. God bless. And I'm glad that Mel left it at that. Yep, I agree. I'm glad that Mel left it at that. But yes, shout out to y'all for peeping it. I was like, Stormy, it's lightweight been feeling like you don't fuck with Mel. And now all of a sudden it's like, "Hey, we back cool." Okay. Okay, let Tisha tell all that shit you talked. Because I'm sure you did. Okay. So then they talk about firing Junior, which was a storyline that we really didn't care about, y'all. But the good news was that Junior got hired back. He moved on to another job. Now he's a manager at the restaurant. Miss Lisa and Miss Betty, the two sisters, Stormy's aunt and her mama, are still not talking like that. Miss Betty says she tried. And I was like, am I tripping? It didn't look like Miss Betty was really trying to me. It didn't look like Miss Betty was really trying. It looked like Miss Betty is the type of person who can't apologize and basically was just ready for shit to move on. And from my opinion, she probably has done a lot of fucked up stuff. And her sister Lisa is to the point to where she's like, "You know what? We cannot move on until we have a real discussion." And I don't think that Miss Betty wants to have it. I think that having her daughter be her mouthpiece and making them hug and kiss and make up, she thinks is good enough. So other than that, Miss Betty, that whole storyline could go. Okay, I don't need problematic mamas on the TV. I don't like talking about people's mamas in my review. As far as you and your sister, I wish y'all well, but it can get gone from my screen for next season. So we move on from that to Kiki, Chris, and Fletcher hop back up on stage. Right. Kiki, Chris, and Fletcher hop back up on stage. And this is where I was saying to y'all, did y'all see I didn't read the comments. Y'all tell me again. Did y'all see Carlos side-eye the fuck out of Kiki when she got back on stage? When he side-eyed the fuck out of her, I was thinking to myself, like, damn, it must be something going on that we don't know about. Like, is there something backstage that he's seeing that we not seeing? Like, is she doing interviews when you asked her not to do interviews? I don't know what it is. But the face he made was giving like, here go this straight. I was like, oh my gosh. So Kiki's back on stage. The Fletchers are on stage. They end up showing the Fletcher recap. One of the things that stuck out to me that was not shown is what happened to Lex? What happened to Lexi? Y'all know Lexi is the daughter that pulled off in the white Infiniti with her white husband, talking to Fletcher, saying, you wasn't there for me as a dad. You got them nice cars, you didn't give me one. And Lexi is the daughter where Nell says, shut the fuck up, Lexi. But we didn't talk about it. I'm like, what? So they end up asking the Fletchers, how's things going on? And Nell says, well, our family dynamic is better. Chris Jr. actually calls me more. And she's like, our family dynamic is better because I don't look at things as a loan. If I give the kids money, it's just give me the money or don't give me the money. It is what it is. But what happened to Lexi? That was the big thing to me. I'm like, what? Yeah, they did not talk about it. Nope, they didn't talk about it. They mute the next Lexi storyline. Exactly. So it's like, is it really better, or is your relationship with Chris Jr. just better because you're no longer asking for your money back? That's what it sounded like. Anyway, I'm interested to know. I love the Fletchers being a part of the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I can't even stunt, y'all. I was very cautious of Nell when she first came on the show. As y'all know, I'm cautious of anyone with the boxy eyebrows. I'm questionable of their views of what type of delusion are you living in, right? So I will say this, y'all. Ultimately, I think that Nell and Chris did a good job. They're great additions to the show. I think that yes, they wanted to be cool with everybody, but they didn't cross nobody either. And their family is very, very interesting. So I'm just like, I'm cool with that. Keisha says, and that was interesting to me. Meet the Fletchers was actually more interesting to me than the other stuff that was that was on the show. One being Kimmy broken down under. Yep. Okay. D says Lexi was just on Instagram with them. I didn't know that. That's cool. And I agree with you, Harold. I would prefer Carlos to ask about Lexi instead of asking Nell about, I thought you was going to say something else. Let's get into that, okay? So, family dynamic has gotten better. Let's hold on. So Carlos ends up asking the Fletchers, why were you upset about not being invited to speak on the Black Business Expo panel? And Nell basically explains, well, Chris says we're business owners, we've been in the community for 30 years, yada, yada, yada. And Nell says Tisha actually said that they could speak. And if you're going to say you're going to do something, then do something. And Tisha says, well, I actually was going to invite Chris to speak. She said, I saw him at the girl's birthday party and then it just slipped my mind. So I was only focused on the core 6. And Fletcher ends up saying, so is Stormy a part of the core 6? She says, no, but we've known each other and I know what she does. This is the reality, y'all. I caught it when we was watching the season. Tisha did not invite the Fletchers to come speak because she saw them as allies to the host, Mel. Okay, she saw them as allies to Mel, and I don't think that she was interested in cultivating a relationship with them at that point. And that's just why she decided to ask Stormy, because her and Stormy probably had been together, Kiki and Cup It Challenge and talking shit about Mel and everything else. So she didn't ask them. But now I get it. If Tisha said she was gonna do something, then cool, she should have done it. And also, why would Tisha clarify that she was gonna have Chris speak, but not Nell speak in their couple? Okay, don't you know how it feels to want to be included in your husband's business? Don't you know how it feels? So after that, Marceau tries to be funny. He ends up saying that it was sexist of Chris not to share what his wife does in business and only what he did. I'm like, okay, how rich, in my Carlo voice. So Carlos ends up asking Tisha, why did you ask the Fletchers about cheating? They show a flashback and they say to her something like, have y'all ever dealt with infidelity in your marriage? And Nell says, sure. And I think Nell is saying sure because she's like, bitch, sure, I'll talk about it. I know you won't, but sure, that's something we can discuss. That's what the way I took it. And Tisha's explanation was, well, the people who's been watching the show and been seeing me for 6 seasons, they know that I'm very direct. Where? Y'all, when she said the people that have been watching the show for 6 seasons know that I'm very direct. Tisha, this is like the second or third time that I heard you reference people watching the show and people knowing that you've been on the show for 6 seasons, okay? And you're not going to sit here and tell me that now that you went to Housewives Boot Camp, they gave you the strategy course, and now you're strategically trying to change your image, that we supposed to sit up here and believe that you have been direct since day one. Like we supposed to believe that you really about that life and you really got that smoke, like you gonna put hands on your cousin. Stop. Okay? Stop. Do we all look like we got boxy eyebrows around here? Because we don't. We don't live in that realm of delusion. So it's like if I hear you mention 6 seasons again, I'm about to lose my mind. Like, direct where? Somebody point me to the direction because I don't know where it is. So anyway, they end up asking her, how'd you end up finding out that he was cheating? And she says, somebody told her. I don't think a woman will come up to her. Well, why'd you forgive him? And she says, because love will make you do crazy things. Y'all, honestly, I'm not interested in diving into Chris and Nell's history of infidelity in their marriage. They were not on the show when he cheated. These two have been together for a long ass time. Why should they have to rehash when he cheated on her if she decides to take him back? They in a better place. That's something that she's willing to speak on and say it with her chest. I don't need to pry. Tisha, the allegations of your husband cheating is not even something that you want to potentially discuss, which is part of the reason why you be getting into it with your cousin Kiki. So for you to be the one questioning them and think that us, the audience, will be satisfied with hearing about when he cheated a decade ago, you are sadly confused. Like, I don't want to have that discussion. I just don't. And I don't think a lot of y'all want to have that discussion either. So, yeah, ridiculous. What else? They separated for 18 months. She forgave him. They got back together. Womp. What's next? So now they basically just explain how like she's cared for both Mel and Martell in their relationship because she thought that they could get through it too. Nell says that she sees some similarities in Chris that she does in Martell, and I'm gonna tell you like this: you probably see some similarities, but they're not the same. They're not the same. Martell is not a person who can face reality. He's not a person that can be wrong at all. In the same way we talking about the girls with the boxy eyebrows, we're going to talk about the tightness of the suits. We're going to talk about the tightness of the suits. Because in what world do you want us to believe that the suit looks fine? Like, that's why you walked off the stage so stiff. Like, in what world do you think that it makes more sense to wear a suit that you can barely sit down in that's probably squeezing the fuck out of your private parts? I don't understand. So I have to say, Martell, with that, you're probably just as delusional as the girl with the boxy eyebrows. So I don't see those similarities in Chris. and Martell. Chris probably was really feeling himself like that back in the day because Chris still seemed to be a little, Chris still thinks he's like that dude, which is fine. But I don't think they're similar at all. Let's move on. Let's talk about the Houston trip. So we get into who was that woman who Martell brought to the house. And basically they go through a little bit of back and forth, and he ends up joking and saying that it was someone who gave him a massage. Carlos goes around the room and he says, for the women, do y'all think that it was disrespectful for Martell to bring another woman to the house? Cue the clown mask, please. Someone please grab the clown mask. Kimmy will sit there on mute the entire reunion unless it has to do with one of two things. One, talking about her broken pussy to make her husband sound like he's actually being logical. Two, to align herself with the views of the men on the cast. Those are two things. She did that with Tisha. Well, from a nurse's perspective, what did he get? I can't remember what that thing was called. Vasectomy. The vasectomy probably didn't fail. So I'm going to align myself with the men and say there's more likely a possibility that you cheated than actually got pregnant by your husband. Oh, I'm not going to say anything the whole time, but when Carlos asks for the opinion of the women and says it's disrespectful, I'm going to say no, because I'm going to say that they decided to move on. Kimmy, I think you need to go back to the drawing board. I think you need to take the strategy course. Not the same strategy course as Tisha, because we know that she got her boot camp off Groupon, but I need you to find a reality TV strategy course and figure out how the hell you can get yourself out of this clown mask. So Kimmy says they decided to move on. She doesn't really say yes or no if it was disrespectful, but you could assume that she's saying no, it's not disrespectful because they decided to move on. And not only that, she doesn't stop there. She says to Mel, well, didn't you get a massage too? Boing. Y'all, get your girl. Get your girl immediately. Because it's like, for one, we're not even talking about massages. For two, yes, they decided to move on. So maybe the word isn't disrespectful, but I would say maybe the word is classless, because knowing Martell and how he moves, we know that Martell lives to get a rise out of Melody. So by him bringing a girl on the show, that was his attempt. And you know that, Kimmy, okay? You're not dumb. You're just so smart that you're willing to dilute the truth in your mind, okay? That's a dangerous thing. So she decides to do that. Now we talk about Martell and Nell and why Martell was upset with Nell on the show. And Nell says, Martell cheated for 5 years. So if he cheated for 5 years and she cheated one time, then give her a pass. I have to agree with that. That's also something that Kimmy spoke on in one of the other parts of the reunion, right? I don't think that cheating is right. I don't think that there should be a tit for tat type of thing. But I'm also the type of person that's going to question, if you had a whole girlfriend for 5 years, why are we discussing her cheating one time? That's not worth our time. I'm not even going to give energy to that. It's a deflection. And for Kimmy to actually entertain it, or anybody else to entertain it, like, well, they both cheated. Quit. Y'all, be for real. And it's annoying just because it's annoying whenever you're dealing with somebody who is logical enough and emotionally intelligent enough to know what's going on, but still neglects to address that. They rather just play dumb. So Mel sounds like she's willing to admit that, yes, she cheated sometime around 2014 or 2015, but Martell doesn't have proof. So to answer your question, Pacino, no, it doesn't sound like Martell can provide receipts. It sounds like they both was doing what they needed to do. Okay. And that's part of the reason why I went back and watched episode 1 and 2 of when the show first started, because it already seemed like they didn't like each other. Like, to me, it just seemed like they never liked each other when they was on the show. Everything had already been drugged through mud at that point. So 2014, 2015, he probably was doing the same type of shit he doing now. So let's talk about Chris allowing Martell to speak disrespectfully to Nell, his wife. Chris, I'm gonna need your friendly ass to hang it up, okay? I'm gonna need your friendly ass to hang it up. Chris ends up saying that they view Melody and Martell as brother and sister because, they give them advice, and the way that he sees Nell and Martell arguing is brother and sister arguing. So that's the reason why he didn't see it as a big deal. Chris, get out of here, honestly. At the end of the day, that's not y'all's brother. That's not y'all's brother. And honestly, just say you didn't want the smoke. Just say you didn't want the smoke, because it didn't make sense for me for you to allow him to continue to disrespect your wife. Like, it was getting to the point to where Nell looked like she wanted to put hands on him. And you should never let your wife get to that point with another man. So Martell and Marceau get on all their sexist shit. And Martell says, he apologizes for walking up on Nell. Good for you. But he says, let's look at it if the roles were reversed. So this is Martell's way of basically unapologizing. He says that's a woman overstepping her boundaries. If she would have walked up on me, then she would have, Marceau jumps in, she would have played the woman card. Martell, let's question why you are getting into these arguments with women the way that you do. And none of these men on the show are actually holding you accountable. Maurice is sitting there eating his food, fixing credit, going to court, not saying nothing. Marceau is influencing you and agreeing with you when it comes to this sexist bullshit. Chris is sitting there because he don't want to smoke. Why is nobody holding Martell accountable for the fuckery that's coming out of his mouth? Nobody's saying anything. They're just like, yeah, then women want to play the woman card. Bye. It's just very funny to me how, like, whenever we watch the show, Marceau has been sexist since day one. Martell as well. Maurice silently for a while. And it feels to me like the only time that y'all want to play the women are equal. Well, if we do this, they do that. When it comes to cheating, y'all don't want to do that. When it comes to businesses, y'all don't want to do that. When it comes to raising children and taking care of the home, y'all don't want to talk about how women are equal. But when it comes to creating some type of rule for where a man can disrespect a woman, that's when y'all say, okay, it's equal. If the shoe was on the other foot than this. But if a man can't do this, then a woman can't do that either. Well, why don't we look at that across the board? And that's the hypocrisy of it all. And I'm just like, I really can't stand y'all. I can't. So Chris doesn't say anything. He leaves it at that. That's his brother. Lastly, y'all, we get into Kiki. Kiki is on stage, and Tisha is talking about how she felt blindsided by Kiki coming on the Houston trip. I will say this, y'all. Y'all know that I am not team Kiki. If y'all don't know, you should know. I'm team calling out the bullshit. I'm team hashtag Necey Dixon. Oh my gosh, my mouth. But I'll say this. I have to agree with what a lot of the audience is saying. I think that Kiki is choosing the show over the relationship with her cousin. I do. I think that Kiki keeps throwing herself in mess where she doesn't have to. I think that Kiki puts herself in competition with Tisha. And I think Kiki's trifling. I do. but I also don't completely trust the way that Carlos is moving, the way that the Scotts are moving. I think Kiki stole the damn lock out the Home Depot, to be honest with y'all. That's just my opinion. So yeah, I just gotta give y'all that disclosure before we get into this conversation. Two things can be right or two things can be wrong in this situation. So Kiki, when Carlos ends up asking her about coming on this trip, he asked her basically what she came to Houston for. And she says, well, it wasn't necessarily because I wanted to make things right, but she wanted to take accountability for what she did. Throwing a drink in anybody's face wasn't right. And she wanted to express that to the group. And she wanted to have a good time in Houston. And my thoughts on that is, the way I transcribe that is, you want to make sure you cool with the group. You want to apologize to the group for your actions and for the way it made you look. You don't give a fuck about Tisha, but you want to continue filming for a cash trip that you were never initially invited to. Kiki was not invited to Houston, y'all. So why would you think that it was necessary for you to show up and take accountability for something that nobody asked you to take accountability for in that moment? You could have waited till they brought their asses back to Huntsville. Y'all, it's very strategic. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of envy and jealousness that's going on between the two of them that I could clearly see, which is why Kiki is doing the theatrics that she's doing. So I'm just like, girl, what is you talking about? You didn't want to make things right, but you wanted to take accountability for what you did. And you wanted to have a good time. This is why, like, when the whole Home Depot thing came out and Stormy and Mel were going up for her, like, good that Kiki had somebody in her corner, but I'm going to be honest with y'all, it wouldn't have been me. It wouldn't have been me. Just because too much bullshit follows Kiki. Like, we have to realize, like, what she does on this show. She feels like she benefits from being on the show. She could care less about her relationship with Tisha, and she has shown that time and time again. While I don't fool with Tisha and Marceau at all, I can believe part of what they're saying, but I also can see when they're trying to manipulate the situation and they get into this ugly cousin game of who can make the other person look worse. And that's simply what we're watching, right? So, okay. Tisha ends up saying that her relationship with her cousin is done forever. Y'all, I believe that. I believe that. I don't know why, but I believe that. If it was me, I'd be done. I would be done. I have no idea. Okay, Kiki suing Home Depot. But yeah, yes, Harold said I'd be wanting to give Kiki benefit of the doubt. Sometimes I feel like it's necessary. Sometimes you do have to give Kiki benefit of the doubt because we have seen Tisha and Marceau manipulate situations and influence a group to, oh, we're up here, she's down here. We've seen that before. But I also have to, like, say I don't really trust Kiki either. Kiki be on bullshit, you know? And the reason why I say that I can see that Kiki is actually done, or Tisha is actually done with Kiki, is because her husband is involved in the bullshit. I feel like if Marceau was not involved, she probably would forgive her cousin and move on. But because Marceau's involved and because Tisha is committed to living in the level of delusion that she's living in, which is my husband's not a cheater, she has to be done. So that's what it is. You stuck. What's next? Carlos asked Kiki if she used Tisha and chose the show over her. Kiki says no. She said that the plan was always supposed to be the two of them on the show together. That's when I was like, oh, I forgot about that, right? Because we keep talking about, like, how back in the day when the show first started, Kiki was supposed to come on the show and they had said something about you don't want her in your house. And Tisha says that she decided, y'all, how can Tisha make the executive decision for Kiki? She decided that it wasn't good for Kiki to come on the show because of things that she was going through. And we asked what those things are. Number one, being a drug issue. Number two, Kiki says that it was the infidelity in her marriage. Martell ends up calling that shit out and says, I don't think that that's what it was. Kiki ends up not really committing to the answer she initially gave, which was it was the infidelity in her marriage, to now she backtracks and she says it had to do with my marriage. So I'm just like, what is it? So let's back up a little bit. Whenever I talk about this like competition between the two cousins, I'm gonna ask y'all this. How can Tisha make the executive decision for her cousin and determine what Kiki should show to us on this TV show? And it just kind of reminds me of how like people will do things that benefit them, but if they spin it and address it another way and make it sound like, well, in reality, it's really helping you, then it makes it sound like, oh, okay, you're right. And that's where I felt like that came from. How is Tisha benefiting from this? If her and her cousin are really in competition, Tisha will want to be the one that's on the show, not her cousin. But you know what? It actually helped you, Kiki, because you was going through it. So by me not allowing you to be in the spotlight, it actually protected you, when that probably wasn't her number one motivator. So that's what I mean by like trying to see the bullshit come from both sides. Kiki and Tisha be on bullshit. So at this point, y'all, we have no idea what the second thing was, but based on the faces and the questions that Carlos was asking Kiki on this reunion, I don't think that Kiki's gonna be back next season. I really don't. So then Carlos ends up asking Kiki if she wants to reconcile, and Kiki says, of course. Kiki wants to keep that relationship, y'all. Kiki wants some type of check, some type of feature on this show. Other than that, nothing else really happened. We talk about Tisha taking the pregnancy test, which I don't really even need to discuss, y'all. Vasectomies fail. I feel like I hear about it often. I'm not going to say that vasectomies fail often, but I have heard of that multiple times. And then Tisha to Kiki, during one of the breaks, Kiki was talking to Marcel, saying, y'all only picked me up twice. And I think she's referencing whenever Marcel was saying, you know, we wouldn't pick you up off the street when nobody else would. And Kiki ends up saying to Marcel, blah, 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 you a bitch, right? So Marcel says, okay, then come over here and get me. And Tisha, she pulls out her last cue card. Because y'all know, last week I told y'all Tisha had 4 index cards. She pulled out her 5th index card. And she said, I bet you won't try it again, bitch. I bet you won't cross this line. Tisha, I'm letting you know right now, you don't put fear in anybody's heart. And after you've been on the show for 6 seasons, if I have to say it again because you said it so many times, you're not convincing me. And I don't think you're convincing anybody else. But other than that, y'all, I mean, the reunion was straight. The reunion was fine. I'm excited for the next season. I'm excited for the next season. But, hold on. My bad, y'all. Okay. I'm excited for next season. The reunion didn't really give that much. But yeah, that's all I have. I actually have to go because if y'all was at the beginning of this live, then y'all know that I'm prepping for my baby shower this weekend. I will have pictures, and I think we're going to do a virtual baby shower too because I know some of y'all sent stuff from the Amazon wish list. I will post the Amazon wish list in the description box of this review. I'll also post the link to my merch shop where we got the clown t-shirts, y'all. I see you got your clown mask on. And then I'm going to see y'all tomorrow for Real Housewives of Potomac. And then another announcement is that instead of Thursday, Ooh Ladies First panel will be coming on Wednesday again on my channel, y'all. So I hope y'all like this review. Like the video. Share the video with a friend so we can all be friends. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.